Good evening and welcome to Teachers Talk. I'm your host, Amy Farrah Fowler. Tonight we will be interviewing a future teacher of secondary education. Please welcome our guest, Madison Shyrock. Yes, hello, so happy to be part of this show, so happy to be here. It's actually Shryock though, just a heads up. Yes, of course. First off, tonight we'll be talking about professional dispositions in the teaching field. So, Maddie, can you tell us what these dispositions are? I'd be happy to. Yes, dispositions in regard to teaching are just ethics and really a set of standards that you want to teach by. So, kindness, compassion, honesty, those are all solid dispositions that many teachers hold to. Great, all right. So, Ms. Shamrock, what dispositions do you possess that you think will make you a successful teacher in your field? Yeah, it is Shryock, though, not Shamrock. Well, there are several traits that come to mind. I am a people person and I'm very compassionate about everyone around me, so I believe that will translate very well into teaching. I want to make sure that every student feels loved and valued in my classroom. Another important quality is fairness. I want every one of my students to have an equal opportunity to learn, even if the type of learning looks different. So one student may need longer time to take a test because of special needs. That doesn't mean it's not fair, it means they're learning differently. I also think that honesty is very important in the teaching industry and really any professional field. Honesty is so important. You need to be genuine in front of your students, and I think that's a very good way to convey that you are invested in your students and you are invested in them, so you are going to present 100% of who you are, no matter what it looks like. So, what traits do you think you need to work on to be a successful first-year teacher? Go ahead, Miss Sherlock. Yeah, Shryock, not Sherlock, but that's fine. I think that diversity will be a real challenge for me. I've grown up in a very small town in Oregon. It's going to be a challenge to meet all different kinds of students who represent each of their cultures and just embrace all of that diversity. I think that's going to be a challenge. Professionalism, I think, will be a challenge as well. I am going into secondary education. I will be maybe only 4 years older than some of my students. It's going to be very difficult to maintain a professional teacher-student relationship. It's possible, for sure, but it is something I will have to work on because of my age in compared to my students. So, what does a professional educator look like? What standards and ethics do they work by? Well, a professional educator, first of all, they are consistent. They know what they're doing. When they set forth, they are confident in how they go about their teaching and interacting with their students. Don't confuse the students. Stick to a schedule. Don't be monotonous, but stay consistent for sure. I also believe professionalism is huge. If you don't have the respect of your students, you can't effectively teach them. Professional educators, they care about their students, and I think a want for student success is what really guides all of their thinking and actions. If you are not focused on how your students are doing and how they are succeeding and what you can do to help them succeed, then I really don't think you're succeeding as a teacher. All right, last question, Ms. Shryock. How might professional dispositions positively or negatively impact the psychological development of adolescents? It's It's Shryock, not Shryock. Shryock. Okay, so professional dispositions can positively impact psychological development in adolescents because if you are kind to your students, if you are honest with your students, they are going to develop a strong relationship with you, and that is going to really impact their psychological development. If you skirt the professional dispositions and you are not honest with them, you do not show them kindness or fairness, and you're not professional towards them, their psychological development will be skewed. They will not have a correct vision of what a teacher is to look like, and that will mess up their psychological development. All right, well, that is all the time we have for today, folks. Thank you so much, Miss Schnabknocker, for being here with us today. It's actually not worth it.